Ohio State absolutely rolled Wisconsin yesterday, but that really wasn't the takeaway for us on this side of things when it came to what Ohio State looked like yesterday. What I took away was Julian Sayin is doing what we thought he would do going into the stretch of the season, which is absolutely dealing. Final score was 34-0, but Julian Sayin's stat line, 393, 36 of 42, 4 touchdowns. Looked good doing it. It wasn't like deceptive 393, if that even exists. It was like a real deal. Push the ball downfield, 393. We'll unpack all that, but if you're an Ohio State fan, make sure you're subscribed. We just picked you in the national championship in our 2.0 season predictions, so if you need any reason to be subscribed, that should be it. And we called Julian Sayin popping off in this game and throughout the next couple of games, so make sure you're locked in. And we appreciate you in advance for being locked in and being subscribed. So here's what I love about Julian Sayin's game. He plays the quarterback position like he knows what the heck is going on. A lot of these first-year starting quarterbacks, we see them a little bit sped up, a little bit frantic, eyes all over the place. They're patting the ball a bunch. Their feet are really hot because they're trying to figure out where they should go with the football. Julian Sayin is back there. He's a first-year starter. He looked like he's been in this Ohio State offense for the last 5 years. Like, he's just so calm, collected, composed, and he's not careful with the football, but he's also not reckless. Does that make sense? Like, Julian Sayin knows where his checkdowns are. He's not trying to do too much with the football, but at the same time, he's not over there just trying to game manage. Like, when he sees his guy with a one-on-one opportunity, he's not afraid to cut it loose. He said as much in his post-game on-field interview with CBS. Like, he's very much so okay with giving his guys a chance to go get it. And when he makes those throws, he's not hoping, he's not putting it up there, and it's like a 50-50. Like, he's throwing the ball with intention, with conviction, and in specific spots on his receivers to be in position to go win those 50-50 balls. Like, sometimes you see quarterbacks just throw it up and hope their guy comes down with it. That's not the way that Julian Sayin plays ball. Also, going back to him looking like he knows what's going on, he is pretty elusive in that pocket. Like, I wouldn't say Julian Sayin's a dual threat to the degree that Will Howard was for you a year ago, but go and watch what he did yesterday against Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin's a world beater. I think Wisconsin's in the position they are because Wisconsin is, quite frankly, not very good. But he evades pressure, steps up, throws a downfield dot to Carnell Tate. And at the end of the game, he's got a little bit of pressure, rolls out, breaks contain, eyes downfield, throws a frozen rope to Brandon Ennis in the corner of the end zone. Like, just plays like that from Julian Sayin, the way he can extend plays and he doesn't get overwhelmed in the pocket, that's going to serve him well the rest of the season. There's a certain, I don't know if I'm young enough to say aura, quite frankly. I'm almost 30, but like, Julian Sayin's got a little bit of that aura to him, a little bit of sauce to him. Okay, so the fact that he's never panicking and that he's not overly careful, I think should excite you as an Ohio State fan. Because if he was just game managing, then you're having to talk yourself into this world where Ohio State wins with defense and the run game has to get going. That's not a world you're going to live in here down the stretch. And Ohio State knows that, and they're preparing for that. As much as yesterday for Ohio State was a game that counts in the Big Ten, and if they had lost by some wild circumstance against Wisconsin, newsflash for them to win and to cover, obviously. If that had happened, though, it would have been bad news for the Buckeyes. But yesterday, I have to believe that Ohio State treated that in some way, shape, or form as a preparation tool for Julian Sayin and for this team the rest of the way. Ohio State, I don't think ran the football as well as they would have liked in that spot yesterday. But watching that game back, they made a point to throw the ball. Like, in the first half, their run-to-pass ratio was 3 passes to 1 run. Julian Sayin threw the ball 42 times. That wasn't by accident. Ohio State, I happen to believe, could have won that game if they had just committed to the run game. Probably could have scored in their 20s. Maybe they break the camel's back with a couple extra straws in the fourth quarter and they get into the third. Like, they could have won that game running the football. I have to believe that. But that wasn't what they wanted to do. They wanted to push the ball downfield. They wanted to let Julian Sayin spin it a little bit. Why? Because they understand to get to where they want to go, it will be because Julian Sayin is operating past a first-year starting quarterback level. He's seeing it clearly. He's not panicking. He's maximizing our weapons that we recruited at Ohio State to go win the games against Michigan in the college football playoff, the Big Ten title game, all that. It's all tied to Julian Sayin making this Ohio State team as multidimensional as possible on the offensive side. I think the offensive line will be able to answer the call to action in those spots. But Julian Sayin's the part that not you wonder about, but you wanted to see verified ahead of those games. And so the Wisconsin game, again, you're not worried about losing it. So you say to your first-year starting quarterback, hey, we're going to put more on your plate today. Go eat. And Julian Sayin will be better what he did against Wisconsin in the game against Penn State, in the game against Purdue. Like, that is the whole key here for Ohio State and Julian Sayin down the stretch. They're not playing a bunch of difficult secondaries to try to beat. So it's all about getting Julian Sayin ramped up. When I was a junior in high school, for whatever reason, dude, the ACT gave me fits. Like, it just tough test. Had to get a certain score to go to the school I wanted to go to, which is kind of how the ACT works. And for whatever reason, I just would do all the work at home, do my practice tests at home. It wouldn't translate to the test. So what I started doing now, going to practice tests every single Saturday. I'm not like taking a practice test at home where I'm setting a timer. I am going to a testing facility with a bunch of other students around me, taking the practice test, and putting myself into that situation where it's feeling like I'm actually in the test itself. That's what Ohio State's doing in this stretch of games, and in this game against Wisconsin yesterday, trying to simulate a real test environment for Julian Sayin. So when you get to that ACT, the real deal, when you get to the Michigan game, when you get to the Big Ten title game against Indiana, so on and so forth, you're not having to calibrate emotionally or adjust to it, because it's different during practice where you're wearing the non-contact jersey and you're going against the scout team. It's very different doing that and actually doing it in a real 11-11 setting with Camp Randall going on behind you, and when you're at Purdue or when you're playing Penn State in the shoot, like all those things, you can't duplicate that in practice. And having those moments is going to make Ohio State a wagon, even more so than they already are right now. So I love the way that he's hooping. He's playing confident. He's playing definitive, decisive level of quarterback play. He's playing with conviction, all those things, and he knows what's going on. Knows what the checkdowns are. He knows that he has a defense at his back. He doesn't have to force it. He's not playing sped up. And for all those reasons, man, 9.4 yards a pass for Julian Sayin. If they can be that going forward, I don't know who's beating Ohio State. And I feel pretty good saying that. So the Julian Sayin show was awesome yesterday as Ohio State rolled past Wisconsin. The Death Star is getting to become more increasingly operational in Columbus. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, at Jody PicKell. Cato on the ones and twos, myself, Jody PicKell. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.